Everyone, and welcome back to United Focus. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news, and what a day to be a United fan, because the Ederson deal is done. It is agreed. It is happening. The Michael Carrick era at Manchester United is officially about to get its first signing, and there is plenty more business being lined up right behind it. We have got updates on Matheus Fernandes, Alex Scott, Lewis Hall, Andre Onana's return, and much more. So let's get straight into it. Right, let's start with the biggest news, because this one is now fully confirmed across multiple outlets and there is no ambiguity here whatsoever. Manchester United have agreed a deal to sign Atalanta midfielder Ederson. Done, agreed, finished. Here are the exact details. United will pay an initial £35 million, that is around 40.5 million euros, plus a further £3.8 million in potential add-ons, making the total package worth up to £38 to £39 million, depending on how you convert the figures. Ederson will sign a 4-year contract at Old Trafford, with an option included to extend his stay for a further 12 months. So potentially a 5-year deal for a 26-year-old. That is a serious long-term commitment. Personal terms are already fully agreed. The only remaining formality is the medical, and the deal is expected to be formally completed in early July, before the summer transfer window is fully underway. Now let's talk about who this player is and what he actually brings, because some United fans might not be completely familiar with him yet. Ederson is a 26-year-old Brazilian international who has been at Atalanta for several years and made 180 appearances for the Italian club. He is not a defensive midfielder. He is not a Casemiro replacement in the traditional sense. What he brings is dynamism, flexibility and energy in the centre of the park. He can box to box, he can carry the ball, he can press aggressively, and he can adapt to different roles within the same system. That is exactly what Michael Carrick needs around Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo is brilliant, but United have been crying out for different options, different profiles alongside him. Ederson provides that. He is smart, he is technically excellent, and the fact that United have monitored him closely for years and only moved when talks over a potential switch to Atletico Madrid collapsed tells you this is not a panic buy. This is a calculated, long-planned signing. Welcome to Old Trafford, Ederson. But see, and this is critical, Ederson is just the first piece of the puzzle. United want at least 2, possibly 3 central midfielders this summer. Casemiro is gone. Manuel Ugarte is also likely to depart. The midfield rebuild is enormous in scale, and Ederson alone does not complete it. So who is next? Well, the clearest frontrunner right now is West Ham's Matheus Fernandes, and there is a big update on this one today. United have firmly set their sights on the 21-year-old Portuguese midfielder, and it is easy to see why. Despite West Ham suffering back-to-back Premier League relegations, including this season after Fernandes made the move from Southampton last summer, the young midfielder turned in another outstanding individual campaign. Completely blameless for the team's struggles, his quality has shone through regardless. The complication? West Ham have slapped an £80 million price tag on him. Yes, 80 million. For a player whose club just got relegated to the Championship, that is a bold valuation from the Hammers. Whether United are willing to go to that level remains to be seen. Here is the interesting subplot though. Arsenal also hold an interest in Fernandes, so this could turn into a transfer battle between 2 of the biggest clubs in the country. However, and this is encouraging for United fans, it is believed that Fernandes himself favours a move to Old Trafford over Arsenal. The player's preference matters enormously in these situations, and if he is pushing to go to United, that is a significant advantage. Watch this space very closely. Now here is one that has come out of nowhere and gathered real momentum today. Manchester United are reportedly leading the interest for Bournemouth midfielder Alex Scott, according to Team Talk. United have placed the dynamic Bournemouth man among their midfield targets this summer, and the reason is clear. Scott is seen as an ideal profile to partner Kobbie Mainoo and Ederson in United's rebuilt midfield next season. Scott is a number 8. Mobile, progressive, technically gifted, and still only 21 years old. He has been one of Bournemouth's standout performers over the past couple of seasons and has attracted attention from several top clubs. But right now it is United who are at the front of the queue. This is one to monitor very carefully over the coming weeks. Midfield is not the only area United are looking to strengthen. They need a left-back too, and a very interesting name has emerged. According to The Athletic, United are closely monitoring Newcastle United's Lewis Hall as they look to bolster their options at left-back this summer. Hall is 20 years old, has Premier League experience, and fits the profile of the young, dynamic fullback United want to bring in. Now, Newcastle are not actively looking to sell. They have no desire to lose another key player, particularly after Anthony Gordon has already headed to Barcelona. However, and this is the key detail, Newcastle may be forced to consider sales if they want to fund their own summer rebuild under Eddie Howe. The Magpies have been valued at around £50 million for Hall. Whether United can convince Newcastle to sell is another matter entirely, but the fact that United's recruitment team are watching him closely tells you they are serious about addressing the left-back position this summer. Now this is an interesting one. Andre Onana has returned to Manchester United from his loan spell at Trabzonspor with immediate effect. Fabrizio Romano confirmed the news, stating that Onana is now expected to join United's pre-season tour. However, and this is important, this does not necessarily mean Onana has a long-term future at Old Trafford. Romano also confirmed that Trabzonspor had no option to buy in the original loan deal, meaning it was always coming back to United. But now Trabzonspor are apparently willing to open fresh negotiations to try and take Onana on loan again next season. So where does this leave the goalkeeper situation at United? That remains unclear. Onana gets his chance in pre-season under Carrick, who will assess whether the Cameroonian fits into his long-term plans. If not, another loan or a permanent sale could follow. One to watch. Let's just step back for a second and look at the full midfield picture, because it is genuinely fascinating. Kobbie Mainoo, staying. The foundation. The heartbeat. Ederson, signed, agreed, done. First signing of the Carrick era. Matías Fernandes, strong interest. United are in the mix, player favours the move, £80 million price tag is the obstacle. Alex Scott, United leading the race, dynamic number 8, fits the system perfectly. Sandro Tonali, still on the shortlist, still being monitored, Newcastle asking £87 million. Aurélien Tchouameni, the dream signing. Real Madrid, elite level, enormous fee required. Elliot Anderson of Nottingham Forest, still in the conversation, though City are said to be ahead in that race. Carlos Baleba of Brighton, interest has cooled after Brighton quoted United £100 million last summer and Baleba's form dipped. That is an extraordinary list of midfield targets. United could realistically end up with 3 new central midfielders this summer if Ugarte also leaves. 3. The midfield is going to look completely unrecognisable by the time August arrives. We cannot do a United transfer blog without addressing Marcus Rashford, and the latest is not encouraging for the player. Barcelona have until June 15th, that is less than 2 weeks away, to exercise their £26 million option to sign Rashford permanently. Anthony Gordon arriving from Newcastle for £70 million has effectively pushed Rashford out of Barcelona's plans. Multiple reports are now suggesting Rashford is not in Barcelona's thinking at all unless no other striker arrives, which is described as a very remote possibility. Meanwhile, Rashford himself has reportedly no interest in joining Newcastle or Tottenham, the 2 Premier League clubs most strongly linked with him. He wants Barcelona or nothing, essentially. United will not renegotiate their terms with the Catalan club, and the BBC have reported that sources believe United selling Rashford elsewhere for a higher fee is simply unrealistic. June 15th is the deadline. We are heading towards a very messy conclusion to this saga, and United need clarity on Rashford's situation before they can fully plan their attacking additions for the summer. Beyond midfield, United's ambitions extend to a winger, a fullback and a centre-back this summer. Beyond midfield, United's ambitions extend to a winger, a fullback and a centre-back this summer. Rafael Leao of AC Milan remains a long-term target. United have already made contact with the Portuguese forward's representatives following his official announcement that he is leaving Milan. The Premier League is his preferred destination. AC Milan want over £50 million, and Leao himself has spoken publicly about his admiration for United, citing Cristiano Ronaldo as his idol growing up. If United show concrete interest, he reportedly will not hesitate to give the green light. That one is gaining traction. Vinicius Jr. of Real Madrid is described as another long-term target, though in pure transfer terms, prizing him away from the Bernabeu would be one of the most expensive deals in football history. Exciting to dream about, complicated to execute. So here is where Manchester United stand on Wednesday, June 3rd. Ederson is signed. 4-year deal, £38 million package, first signing of the Carrick era confirmed. United retain